Hey guys, Destler Magic here, and it's time to make a video that will get notoriously low amounts of views for who the hell knows what reason. I really don't know why people are generally disinterested in Q&As. It's just weird. On other channels, I love it when they answer random questions from fans and you get to find out about, the person behind the mic and all that, and it's interesting and crap. Whatever, let's get right. I'm not gonna do it. Let's get right into the damn comments. The very first comment, for some reason in YouTube's weird algorithm order, is from Dustin Silva. He asks, I tried your Mr. Nibbles deck today, got roasted by a similar deck with Burn, and then got smoked by Spirits decks. I need more practice. Dustin, that's not a question. I know, I didn't say every single comment had to be a question. I mean, you can comment whatever you want. Joke's on you, though. I'm answering it anyway. I tried Mr. Nibbles today at the win and get an FTV pack for MSRP tournament, and I just barely lost to Blue White Spirits. And, he played it really exceptionally well, and it was built really well, and it was a really close match. It was a 1-2, actually. Then I had to drop because I went home and threw up a whole bunch because I ate some bad ham. So who really had Mr. Nibbles backfire the worst, me or you? And when it comes to cooking, I also need more practice. Either that or when it says it's 4 days past, I should, probably not assume it's still okay. Sven Lindquist wants to know if I would add a legendary ape to MTG named Harambe. Hell, yes I would. Harambe forever. Corey wants to know if I could eliminate one thing from the world, what would it be? Apple as a company. And if I can kind of write it into one genie wish, their customers too. Laser Cobra, which is the greatest name ever, he wants to know what Planeswalker do I think is the sexiest. Me, of course. In case you didn't know, all the players are Planeswalkers, so obviously it's me. Chosen One wants to know how many spin down dice can I put in my mouth at once. What he doesn't know is that I own 2mm long golden dice, so several hundred. But I'm not going to try it with traditional size dice that come in the fat packs because I've thrown up enough today. A lot of people inquired as to what was the worst game I ever lost or the worst mistake I ever made. I had 3 military intels on the field, and I swung and milled myself to death. And it was on the swing that would have won the game, and it's because I overdrew by 10 or 15 cards just for the fun of it to show off the draw power. Yeah, that was kind of dumb. Banana deck forever. I really need to show you guys my banana deck. I made it before I made this YouTube channel, basically, so I really need to show that deck off. It is insane. It is mind-blowing. It was actually standard at one point, and I actually brought it to FNM and actually almost swept with it. And when you see what a complete joke that deck was, you are going to have a heart attack. Also, if you eat really bad ham. Decknoff wants to know how many times I can spin in an office chair before I have to puke. I do not get motion sickness under any circumstances. Strap me to a roller coaster after doing a dizzy bat. I don't care. Nothing can make me throw up that's related to motion. I think it's because I'm such a gamer. I don't know. My mom, she'd throw up if she spun around once, but she said that happened after, I think, she was pregnant with my brother. Since then, she gets, dizzy by the easiest motion. I don't know. Weird. Every last human on planet frickin' Earth wanted to know what game I'm using to play my MTG matches in the backgrounds of my videos. It's called Xmage. It's free. It's German. It's made in Java. You don't have to pay anything. There's not even a donate button. You should play it. It's a 99% accurate MTG simulator, basically. It's like an MTGO ripoff, except it's just matches, no big tournaments or sponsored anything or prizes. It's just casual whatever, show up and play. So you could build a giant net deck that you don't have to pay for, or you could do what everybody else does, which is test their deck first and then buy it, which it encourages purchases. That's why it probably hasn't been sued out of existence. Vander's Rabbitry wanted to know if I've ever played Legacy. I've played against a Legacy deck, so I guess you could say I have. I mean, technically, I think my deck was Legacy legal. By the way, I lost the first match and then won the next two. Thalius Theodulid, whatever the hell, wanted to know if I watch anime. I do. I'm not obsessed with it. I don't think anime is the greatest artwork ever. I have a problem with probably 75% of anime. But in general, I love it. And my favorite anime, since I know somebody will ask, is Outlaw Star. It's not even my favorite. It is the best anime ever. I own 2 box sets, and that's one of them. I will not say what the second one is. You guys will lose all respect for me. MTG Young Mage, who by the way has another channel, you should definitely check it out. He wanted to know why I never show myself in my videos, which he shows himself all the time in his videos, to everybody waiting for me to do a face reveal, especially during, a celebratory subscriber number-based Q&A, and you're like, what the hell, he hasn't showed his face yet? I'm in like 6 of my videos, for God's sake, just scroll through and find one. Now, if you'd like to know why I'm not in more of my videos, it's because what the hell would my face do for my channel? I'm not as good looking as the professor, and I don't dress nearly as stylishly as Wedge. Also, my apartment looks like crap right now, and I really don't feel like cleaning it up. El Razi Sympathizers, so both of them spelled wrong, that's weird, wants to know what my least favorite set or block of all time was. The Khans of Tarkir set and the Khans of Tarkir block. 3 color breaks magic, and that level of mana fixing ensures that your deck works 100% of the time. You just can't have that. That can't happen. You can't have blue counter spells mixed with red removal mixed with black mass kill. You can't do that. It breaks magic. Press Start wanted to know my top 5 black enchantments. All 5 of them are Stab Wound. Raul Castillo wanted to know if Nala could beat me in a game of Modern, and if so, how bad. Very badly, because she is just unbeatable. She's amazing. We were thinking about sending her to the Pro Tour, actually. Henry Tejeda wanted to know, what do you think about YouTubers that tear apart cards for fun? I think they're dicks. It's not funny at all, and it's really super disrespectful to anybody that's saving up to try to just get their hands on one certain card that's worth like a ton of money, and then they just tear it up for shock value and views because they think it's funny. They're complete dicks. And in case you didn't catch it in, I don't know, the comment section or something, I don't know where I put it, for the Ulamog Destruction video with a sledgehammer, we swapped out a card that was nearly identical to Ulamog visually from a distance, so no, I didn't actually destroy an Ulamog. Land of Borders wanted to know if I have any cats. Unfortunately, I don't. I'd love one, but I am badly allergic. And finally, somebody asked, what type of mic do you use? Thanks, Never Not Lucky. It's a Shure SM58, but not the beta edition, because I couldn't afford that. This mic is exceptional. It's under $100, especially if you buy it used. Anybody telling you to go buy a Snowball, or what's the other one, Blue Yeti or whatever, they sound like complete garbage in my opinion. I don't know if my friend just had a broken one, but all the recordings I hear that are on them that aren't heavily processed after the fact, they sound like utter garbage. And trust me, I know sound equipment. If you're wondering who else uses this mic then and what makes it popular and who else will vouch for it, watch really closely next time you're watching American Idol. Oh wait, that got canceled. Anyway, it's Shure Betas and Shure SM58s. Jacob Guthridge wanted to mail me his brother. No thanks. Chris B9581 wanted to know if I could design a new mechanic for Wizards, what would it be? Well, that's pretty obvious. It would be not so much a mechanic, but a class. It would be like a property of the class, like a static ability. Or I think a triggered ability, technically. Not sure on this one. Because it would say during each of your upkeep, so that might be considered the trigger, but whatever. The Desolator class of card would deal -1/-1 counters to all other non-artifact creatures on the field, because of radiation damage. By the way, in case you're wondering, nobody actually asked this, because I think you all probably know this. The name Desolator, and most of my channel artwork and some other random stuff, is based on the Desolator unit from the 1999, I want to say, game called Red Alert 2. It's a real-time strategy game. It was super famous. The cutscenes are frickin' awesome. You should definitely look them up, because they're live action. But I wouldn't go after Red Alert 3. It's kind of crap. But the Desolator unit was awesome. He would just flood the area with radiation and just kill everyone and everything. Pretty much everybody asked why I hate Modern. That's like a whole video, but basically whoever goes first has a ridiculously, stupidly high advantage in Modern. So it comes down heavily to a coin flip, which is just idiotic. The deck power is insane. You basically have to net deck or you're going to lose quite a bit. The decks and the cards all cost way the hell too much, so nobody can afford to play it. You have to basically take your overpriced deck and play the same deck for 10 years unless you've got another couple $1,000s. And it's just fundamentally against the design of Magic. It's not at all how Magic is supposed to be designed or played at all. You take a card that's really, really powerful, but it's not supposed to be used outside of, its block plus or minus another block around it. Because, so they made sure that in Standard that card wasn't too powerful and you couldn't do these ridiculous combos off of the card. They try to suppress infinite combos or, getting a creature to 50-50 with one spell. In Modern, that's pretty much all you do is infinite combos and match up cards that are 10 years apart that were never intended to be played together. There's no balancing, there's no, proper strategy planning. It's just utter chaos with a whole bunch of cards that were never play tested. And worst of the worst is Wizards refuses to ban 15 cards at this point that people just universally agree need to be banned. They're broken, they're unfair, they're all used the wrong way, they're not used for their intended purpose, they're way the hell too powerful, and they cause infinite loops. You cannot have that. But of course, Wizards never wants to admit that they made a mistake, and they don't want to ban it because then people lose their horribly unfair, overpowered deck. Oh, boo-hoo. Michelangelo Slingham, or something like that, wants to know who my favorite actor on Friends was. Ha ha ha, I do not sound like David Schwimmer. We've already visited that in actually the last subscriber count video, come to think of it, which is titled something similar to, Do I Really Sound Like David Schwimmer? And we proved that, no, I don't. I don't sound anything like him. Also, I have never seen one single episode of Friends. Woodruff Skinner wants to know what my highest level Pokemon is. Of course, he didn't specify which game. I'm going to assume he meant Pokemon Go. If he meant the last one I played, it's probably a level 143 Missingo. But I don't play Pokemon Go because not enough time, too poor to have a smartphone, and I have medical issues that keep me from walking long distances. New Style Entertainment wants to know if I ever go to any, he said conversations. I'm going to assume he meant conventions, because then he said like Anime Comic Con or any other. This whole frickin' statement doesn't make any damn sense. I'm going to read exactly what he wrote. Do you got to any conversations like Anime Comic Con or any other like that, and what ones? That actually almost makes more sense when I read it like that. I assume he typed it on a smartphone. Yay, autocorrect. Nope, I've never... Oh, wait a minute. That's not true. I have been to one anime convention. I forgot about that. But, yeah, it was only because it was local. I totally could not get off of either of my jobs, in the past to go to, anything ever. And my shop's open on Saturdays, too, so I really can't go anywhere. But I absolutely would not have the money regardless, so... yeah, that's two good reasons. The Scientist 5 Flaming Viking Goat. What the hell? Anyway, he wanted to know what my favorite subspecies of Canis lupus is, and then he put in parentheses, wolf. I'm still just gonna say corgis, even though I don't think that's true. They might be in that family or genus or whatever the hell. I don't know. If they're not, it's still corgis. Screw you. Adam Blast wanted to know if I'd rather live my life without cereal or without toes. Well, without toes, you can't do a whole lot of stuff that you don't realize. I've heard about it from medical experts. So screw cereal. I'll get my iron somewhere else. By the way, cereal is the #1 source of iron in the United States because they purposely put iron in it to fortify it because apparently people in the past didn't get enough red meat. I most certainly do, though, so I'm good on iron. Nathan Parkhurst asked the #1 best question so far. Definitely the right question to ask. Besides Magic the Gathering, do you have any other special hobbies or even some awesome talents? Oh, yes. I've set a whole bunch of world records in gaming. None were particularly significant, but in, worldwide contests, I've came in second, first, second... top 1,000, which out of 10 million is pretty good. So I'm very, very good at video games. Not even fair good. I can pick up a game that I've never played before and figure out the math, figure out the strategy, and just decompile it, and then beat the living crap out of somebody who's been playing it for 3 years. My friends love that. I'm an expert knife thrower, which if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you already know that. I'm pretty darn good with a bow and arrow and a gun, too, actually. I used to be, an insanely good Dance Dance Revolution player, tournament winning. Si usted ha estado viendo mi canal el tiempo suficiente, usted ya sabe que hablo español algo así, even though I totally just used Google to help me on that one a little bit. And that was the probably el más blanco pronunciation ever. But de veras, I speak quite a bit of Spanish. I don't know, I guess my brain is way not normal at doing math, so I'm really good at math. And the most important of all, I can talk to fish. Just kidding. I can curl my tongue. Apparently not a lot of people can do that. I can't lick my elbow though, my god, I'm not a frickin' mutant. I mean, come on people. Guillermo Oliveira, I don't think that's spelled right, honestly. He wants to know what the single worst, most irritating, most broken MTG mechanic is, in my opinion. Oh boy, is that a close one. It's basically just a tie between Cascade and Infect, and more cards have Infect, so I'll say Infect. Keith Leal wants to know, will I continue to consume Bloody Mary mix or any other random drinks, obviously seen the other video, during your product opening videos? Because I find that pretty funny. Absolutely. In fact, I will print off his comment, put it through a paper shredder, put spaghetti sauce on it, and eat it if it gets me views, because honestly, I need the income at this point. A whole bunch of you asked questions that it would require an entire video to answer, so if I skipped over yours, it's probably because of that. Taylor Cook wants to know how much I hate Bant Company. Quite a bit, but honestly I would say that the 3-color cons decks were worse. There was virtually no way to beat those decks. It couldn't be done. Bant Company, as we've seen in the last tournament, can be beaten. You just have to purposely play around it. So that means it's like a 6 out of 10 on the horrific screw-ups of R&D. The card collected company itself is a 9 out of 10. Mordred wanted to know, if I worked in the Tower of London, what do you suppose would be your favorite method of torture? Forcing people to play against Affinity over and over and over. Payoroma wants to know what country I want to go to for holidays. I would have to say America. Other countries kind of suck and you tend to get robbed or do something accidentally illegal. I have been to Canada for about 18 minutes, if I remember correctly. And that's it. That's the only time I've ever left the country. And by the way, Canada kind of looks like a dump. If you're going to write angry comments saying that I didn't properly answer the question and I have to leave the country, I would probably say Ireland. That looks pretty cool. And I'm like 1/8 Irish or some crap. By the way, Fireman is like 105% Irish. That one person wants to know what is my favorite meme of all time. I am like further into the meme world than like Ethan from H3H3. Like I live memes. I would honestly have to say probably Boop Your Nose. I mean, I'm going old school with it, but Boop Your Nose, I have no idea why I like it so much. It's just so funny. Although I will say that there are some individual meme photos that I have seen that are better than it in general, but they never became like a widespread meme themselves, but they're pretty darn funny. Oh, and I would say second place, like a very close second, is Ain't Nobody Got Time for That. You can't beat it. Bartholomeus or something like that wanted to know that if I was in a duel with Hitler, and it's, modern because why not, and Hitler uses mill control, what deck from my channel would I go up against him with? I would say that SEAL Team 6 probably has the biggest chance of beating him, which is kind of funny because that's who killed Bin Laden, and it's Hitler. That would be so freaking poetic. And if that failed and he let me switch decks, I would just pick whatever deck he considered the most Jewish just to piss him off. Not sure how you can assess like the Jewish level of a deck, but just to piss him off, I would make something up. Floppy Bird wants to know if I have a wife or girlfriend. I do not at the moment, unfortunately. I'm just going to super turbo speed through the rest of these because this is getting really long. I got into Magic because my friend, trying to think what the hell his fake name is. My friend Dracon got me into it, and Dungeons & Dragons as well. I went to F&M after like 3 weeks of learning how to play Magic or whatever, and did pretty poorly, but I did win a couple games. I mean, that's better than most people. By the way, I was playing Mono Blue. That's also my favorite type of deck, and color and all the other questions. I have no idea what type of tattoo I would get. Of course, I kill Russian spies all the time, and no pineapples on my pizza. I'm not a mental patient. In general, I don't really regret getting into Magic. My favorite guild is the black-white one. I totally don't have their names memorized. Oh, and my favorite shard of Alara was Who the Hell Cares? 3-color can eat a dick. I don't currently play Pauper, but I think I've accidentally played Pauper, which is interesting. I am not gay. I am just really geeky. It's a fine line, people. It's a fine line. If you saw my window treatments, it wouldn't be that fine of a line. Those are some manly frickin' single cuts of fabric from Joann's Fabrics. It just went a little gay again. But I use duct tape and clamps to put them up, so, not that gay. I'm not sure what the opposite of fabulous is, but that's what they are. If I were to invent a new card or subtype, it would be Blob, although I feel like that just has to exist already. So I'll say specifically Aboleth, and I bet that probably exists already too, although they really don't like borrowing Dungeons & Dragons copyrighted terms, even though they're owned by the same company. Doesn't make any sense. MTG473 wanted to know if I was going to do any collage with somebody. Not that big into arts and crafts, but I might do a collab with somebody. Jeremy. If I was a Planeswalker, I would be blue, and I would just be -5 table flip. That's it. My favorite angel is Seraph of the Masses. I think that's what it's called. And I used to play the clarinet. I do not sing in the shower, and I'm not wearing pants right now. I'm wearing shorts. Hey, you guys picked out the questions, not me. Well, I mean, I did, but you guys wrote them. My future plans for my store and my YouTube channel are pretty much both together, not go bankrupt and not have to close it, and we'll see what happens. Jace is obviously the best planeswalker. I mean, come on. I don't do any drugs. Drugs are for weak-minded people who have to escape their life and pretend that they're solving their problems for a little bit of time while actually making their life worse. I don't actually play Overwatch, for the people who are asking about that, because I don't have enough money to purchase it, but I am unbelievably good at first-person shooters, so I assume I'd be one of the best. I am just a fraction of an inch short of 6 feet tall, and by the way, Jeremy from MTG Headquarters is approximately 14 feet tall. The stupidest thing I've ever done with my best friends is burn my hands really badly. I'm sure you're all just utterly surprised. My very favorite deck is probably just Scoop Already, which is a life gain deck. It was in standard too. It was bad. It was really, really bad. Or of course, the legend Banana deck. Have I ever had to pull out a gun on somebody at my shop? Absolutely. Someone wanted to know who I'm dressing up as for Halloween. I could pull off a mean Jace or the dude from Trigun. Absolutely. Vash. But honestly, I don't have the budget for either, so I'm probably going to dress up like a little kid, go around and get some free candy because then I don't have to go grocery shopping. I'm 100% supporting Giant Meteor 2016. The best self-defense concealed weapon is definitely the MP Shield. Jose Gonzalez wanted to know if I could be any one poison, what would it be? Obviously the one with a giant recording contract. Haha, gotcha there. I mean, honestly, it's even before my time, so I'm going to explain that one. There's a band called Poison. They made a lot of money in the early 80s, I believe. Probably Potato got really dark and asked if I ever had any problems with depression, because high IQ people tend to. Yes, I did, but I also don't like to go way into, like, my personal history and all my, here's my health problem, here's my mental problem, here's this, here's that, like other YouTubers do, because then every time you hear anything I say or you think of me, you're like, oh, that's that guy with that problem. That's gonna put a spin on every video I ever make. In general, compared to 10 years ago, everything's pretty cool now, so just think of that, I guess. Somebody asked, am I tired of these questions? Yes! I might honestly go back to throwing up in the bathroom, which is what I was doing right before this. In fact, I'm gonna pick out like one more question, because I honestly don't know where the end of this is. I keep hitting show more, and it just keeps generating more freaking questions, man. There's no end. Hey, I actually hit the end. By the way, did I add that I could speed read? I'm just gonna take an amalgamated, smashed together version of the most commonly asked question and the remaining questions. Will I ever show up to some kind of event, go to a tournament, go to a fan convention, go to an MTG event, and meet with you all, throw an event, whatever, something like that? If in the future I have the time and money, and if there's no current pending health problems that are too serious, I absolutely would. I think that would be pretty cool. Although I almost guarantee some of my haters are going to show up and try and start some crap, and it's going to end in a lot of injuries, and I don't mean to me. Did I mention I'm really good at kickboxing? There's a whole bunch I left out of that one because I didn't want to sound like a complete dick. I'm good at quite a few things, and that's just another one of them. And I will tell you, Dance Dance Revolution translates directly into kickboxing. I am not even kidding. It honestly, seriously does. No joke. Also, best diet in the world is the Dance Dance Revolution diet. You will lose a lot of weight, which I'm trying to do right now. So if you made it all the way to the end of the video, which not everybody did because this is boring and nobody likes Q&As, make sure you confuse the hell out of everybody else who didn't watch to this point by, telling me I'm fat as hell and it's dangerous, it's so unhealthy. I'm only 204 pounds, which is pretty good for 6 feet tall. I just need to lose 20 pounds. But fat shame the hell out of me in the comments, because people are gonna be like, what the hell? Did he do not even a face reveal? Did he do a stomach reveal? Is he doing a gut reveal going on here? So anyway, watch for more great videos coming up. There's going to be the #1 most important video, most helpful video, most unbelievably just mind-shattering video that will help you in MTG. It's going to be coming up soon. Hopefully I can shoot it this Sunday. It is so important, and it is the #1 just unexpected, most subtle reason that you are losing your MTG games without even knowing it. It's why a whole bunch of your decks don't work. It's why weird things keep happening to you. The smartest among you have probably already figured it out, but I'll save that spoiler for the actual video. Until then, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because there is some seriously awesome stuff coming. There's a just unbelievably funny video that I'm going to be making too. Hopefully it turns out as funny as it is in my head, but I've got most of it written, and it's just insane. So that and the awesome help video is coming up, so definitely destroy that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next video.